how to prevent the IRS from taking away your tax credit. And I'll be your host today. My name is Dominique Molina. For those of you who don't know me, I am the president of the American Institute of Certified Tax Coaches, which is a nonprofit national network of tax planning specialists. And we focus on helping business owners use proactive tax planning to help them with asset protection and reduce their taxes legally, ethically, and morally. I'm one of the country's top experts in the area of tax planning, but we're so fortunate to have with us today Derek Birdsell. Derek's going to be talking to us about our topic at hand. He's a business attorney and a tax consultant for O'Connell and Associates, which is a law firm located in Tucson, Arizona. And the law firm almost exclusively limits its practice to tax-related matters. Now here's why this is important. Derek specializes in two areas. First and foremost, proactive tax planning. He's also a certified tax coach, and his area of tax planning is generally limited to business clients, where he provides proactive advice in helping his clients to save significant amounts of tax on an annual basis, and he does that by finding mistakes and missed opportunities. Now, Derek's second area of focus is why we're all here today. This is the goods of today's presentation. Derek regularly handles tax matters for individuals and businesses, and he's handled many complicated cases where millions of dollars in taxes are at stake. And I should say he's a real pro at this, at rescuing these lost deductions and representing his clients before the IRS. So Derek, thanks so much for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm just so glad that all of this research is, going to benefit so many people. This is a really complicated case, and we've put hundreds of hours into this one, so I'm just really excited to be here.
Yeah, you mentioned putting in hundreds of hours of research, and I'm really glad, too, that we have so many joining us on today's call, because that gives a lot more people the ability to benefit from your hard work. So Derek, talk to us about this issue today. What is all this about?
What's happening here is that everyone in the audience purchased an electric plug-in vehicle near the end of 2009, and everyone in the audience claimed tax credits in connection with those purchases. Now the IRS is taking a position that these purchases don't qualify for the tax credit, and they've begun sending out notices to at this point, many of the purchasers of those vehicles. The IRS is denying the credit, and we don't agree with the position being taken by the IRS. We're here today to help out people who have already received notices and who may receive notices in the future. We're going to do our best to make sure that they're well informed of what's happening, and that we provide them with a solution regarding how to respond if they do receive one of these notices. So before I go any further, I'm going to pull up a poll, and I would just like to see how many people out there in the crowd already have been affected by these notices. And I'll leave this up for just a few moments for you all to answer.
Viewers should be seeing their poll question come on screen, and it's really simple to answer. You can just use your computer to select the answer that fits best.
And I'm just going to give you all some time to answer these questions, and I think the answers are going to be interesting, because you'll see why we actually believe that many more notices are going to be going out. It's in line with some action being taken by the IRS right now. There's still a few people answering, but I'm going to go ahead and post these results.
So it looks so far, Derek, like the people who are in today's audience have either been affected already by receiving an audit notice regarding the electric vehicle credit. There's some of you that are further along in the process than others, and an awful lot of today's audience has not yet gotten a notice, which is a really good sign.
That's right, and that was actually expected. At this point in time, what's happening is the IRS is going through a first round of audits, and the number of audits is going to increase. How do we know this? Well, in large part because we've been told by the auditors who conducted these audits. So the IRS has been going through this for several months, and what they've been doing is they've been gathering information, and they've been strengthening their argument. It's really interesting to see, because the people who got audited at the very beginning had different notices than those people who are being audited right now. In short, it's become a more complicated case, and the IRS has just been trying to strengthen its position before it starts to take this to a more large-scale level. So here's the here's evidence of why we know, or at least strongly believe, that there's more audits going on. You saw the 3% number, and what's in front of you on the right side of the screen is the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration report, specifically regarding these electric plug-in credits taken during 2009 and 2010. And the purpose behind this investigation was to determine whether the IRS had adequate procedures in place to ensure that only those taxpayers who claimed the tax credit were actually given the tax credit. So the Inspector General wanted to make sure that no one was taking advantage or abusing these credits. And I've zoomed in on the title. I think it speaks for itself when it comes to the results. Individuals receive millions of dollars in erroneous plug-in electric and alternative motor vehicle credits. So the Inspector General was not happy with its findings.
You know, Derek, I kind of refer to these Inspector General reports as gathering intelligence. You know, what happens with these, I view these as a study, if you will. And a lot of times what happens is the IRS is kind of scoping the field to determine if there's anything worthwhile to pursue in terms of money that they could possibly recover through a widespread audit. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. It's almost a business move on their part because, as you stated before, they have limited resources. So they have to look at this and say, okay, let's conduct some discovery, and then if it looks like this is going to pay off, we'll take it a step further.
We've seen this not only with these plug-in electric vehicle tax credits, but we've seen it with very, very common tax credits such as the new home buyer tax credit that came out recently. We've seen it with the earned income tax credit, which is a common tax credit for low income earners. We've also seen these reports on tax credits relating to solar purchases. So we're seeing this tactic more and more, and it's really just a study, if you will, so that they can discover if it's worthwhile to pursue widespread audits of these particular areas. And they're trying to find out and be able to quantify, in fact, how much a potential recovery could be worth to the IRS if they were to audit everybody on a widespread level for particular credits. And this one is the one we're most interested today, is the plug-in vehicle credit.
That's right, Dominique. I think that you make a few good points there. Number one, this was an industry-wide audit, and this is an ongoing industry-wide audit. It wasn't specific to any particular distributor or manufacturer. This is simply an audit that focuses on the electric plug-in vehicle credit. And the second great point that you make is that this isn't anything new. These credits, this audit actually is just like those other audits involving the home buyer's credit. And I think moving forward we say, okay, so what does that mean? What can we expect? Well, the IRS has several options. They can accept what the Inspector General says and take action. They can accept it and say, sorry, we're wrong, or they can say, no, we disagree. I'm zooming in now on Appendix 5 of the report. It's a two-page